I'm the other half of Freaks and Fools. I'm a short, fat, autistic queer. I'm as autistic as fuck. I am where normal comes to die. That's why I should never have a mic. Hello. My parents were autistic as well. They taught me how to do it. Dad's big interest was flying saucers. Mum's torment. Mum built a life-size replica prison ship in the basement so she could play jails and jailbirds. I didn't like that game. Why couldn't she wear the manacles binding her to the vessel, peeling boiled eggs to the crack of my whip? Mum said that wasn't how the game went. Dad and I had our own game, aliens and flying saucers. In the game, Dad and I practiced mesmerism on each other. He tried to convince me I was a flying saucer. I tried to convince him I was a normal child. Dad had a light bulb moment. He'd build a silvery disc with an unearthly beam. He invented the electromechanical plasma reaction drive which powered the first real flying saucer. Mum felt he loved the electromechanical plasma reaction drive more than he loved her. Dad danced about the prison ship singing. Electromechanical plasma reaction drive, powering the first real flying saucer. Off to other worlds. There's so many other worlds to see. We're after the same galaxy's end, going round the bend, my imaginary friend. Electromechanical plasma reaction drive powering the first real flying saucer. And me. Woo. That was Dad's love song to the electromechanical plasma reaction drive. He's 80 years old now and still wants to build a flying saucer. I was bullied at school. My bullies were choir boys. They didn't call me by my name, Nicky Vere-Compton, but their name, Vere-Compton. I felt Vere-Compton made me sound like a goddess, a queer goddess. I set up a shrine in the hope of attracting offerings and worshippers. I attracted violence. Wanting to escape my bully's violence into something real, with hard drugs unavailable to an 11-year-old, I discovered the next best thing, Victorian comic opera. I said to Mum, I'm not a little girl, I'm not a little boy, I'm a comic baritone. Look, for you dream you are crossing the channel and tossing about in a steamer from Harwich, which is something between a large bathing machine and a very small second-class carriage, and you're giving a treat, penny ice and cold meat, to a party of friends and relations. They're a ravenous horde, and they all came on board at Sloane Square and South Kensington stations. And around on the journey you find your... back to school bullying. I think the intensity of the bullying had something to do with my rejection of the gender binary and my assertion that comic baritone was a gender identity in its own right. Just like genderqueer non-binary, only musical. Back home, Mum banged on my bedroom door wanting to play Jails and Jailbirds, but now I'd only play Jails and Jailbirds, the musical. Mum said I'd spoiled her game. My next escape was into 1980s children's TV show Rent-A-Ghost. Any Rent-A-Ghost fans in? Anyone? Anthea, you've heard of Rent-A-Ghost, and you have heard of Rent-A-Ghost. So, which suggests that we might have some Generation X's in, or some slightly older millennials, but nobody else here knows what the fuck Rent-A-Ghost is. Because you are either too young or too old. I can change that for you. If your mansion house needs haunting, just call Rent-A-Ghost. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I didn't even have to ask you to do it. Fantastic. So from the top, you know what to do. If your mansion house needs haunting, just call Rent-A-Ghost. We've got spooks and ghouls and freaks and fools at Rent-A-Ghost. Hear the phantom of the opera sing a haunting melody. Remember, what you see is not a mystery, but Rent-A-Ghost. I watched Rent-A-Ghost, and I knew that I should not be at my middle school in East Grinstead. I should be at Rent-A-Ghost, the employment agency for ghosts, run by Mr. and Mrs. Meeker, and meet Timothy Claypole, the jester, Nadia Popov, the Russian ghost, and the pantomime horse. I would fit right in. My school report read, if Nicola behaved less like a middle-aged spinster, she might be more successful socially. I wasn't putting up with that. I wasn't Buckler Queer Frompton, middle-aged spinster and queer goddess. I was fuckerless Queer Frompton, middle-aged bachelor and queer god. Life was hard for fuckerless the god. I sought refuge in books about the Emperor Claudius, who, like me, began as a bullied, socially awkward, disabled kid. His bullies all wanted to be emperor. They murdered their rivals and each other, but they never killed Claudius because they wanted someone to laugh at. And when they were all dead, Claudius became emperor. I danced about my middle school singing, Tiberius, Claudius, Drusus, Nero, Germanicus, Britannicus, off to ancient Rome. It feels like home from home to me. We might be the same disabled kid. I feel like you did. We'll push them all off grid. Tiberius, Claudius, Drusus, Nero, Germanicus, Britannicus, and me. Emperor Claudius gets a round of applause 2,000 years on. I liked my old school better. They offered me the chance to play God in Captain Noah and his floating zoo. But my parents took me away. My parents are bastards. I thought I could play God for you right here, right now. Sing you my version of God's big number in Captain Noah and his floating zoo. Cue invisible music. A little more. It's quite a long intro. I'm the God of the Israelites, whoa, the Bible VIP. I'm causing a flood because you've not been good and now you're bothering me. I'm a power-crazed megalomaniac. I rant and scream and shout and blow my stack and ramp it up and boss you all about. Oh, a big do. I want a floating zoo. I want a pelican, an anteater, a kangaroo. You see, it's true. A god like me, shooby-dooby-dooby, can actually wipe the floor with you one more time. Can actually wipe the floor with you. That was my attempt at being a power-crazed megalomaniac. I was good. I was really good. Meanwhile, my choirs of boys advanced towards me like Daleks in cassocks. Assimilate, assimilate. I ran away to Rent-A-Ghost, home of spooks and ghouls and freaks and fools. They sent me back. Bob Block, creator of Rent-A-Ghost, told me that I could best serve the spooks and ghouls and freaks and fools by becoming a comic baritone and a Dark Lord. Greetings from the dark side. I am a Dark Lord, a ruthless, stop-at-nothing, power-crazed, megalomaniac, Dark Lord. I'm sensing doubt here. You're thinking that's not a Dark Lord. That's a deluded light entertainment wannabe who thinks he's a Dark Lord. I am a Dark Lord. I have embraced the lighter side of life. I am a light entertainment lord, a ruthless, stop-at-nothing, power-crazed, light entertainment lord. I'm on the up. I've got an agent. I'm releasing an album. It's called Narcissism. Would you like to hear a song from my album?
Yeah!
It's a cheeky little number about what I do to uninvited choir boys. You have often walked down my street before, but I never nailed the pavement to your feet before. I'm a slightly bored light entertainment lord, and you're all on the street where I live. Are there lilac trees in the heart of town? Can I eat your heart in any other part of town? Will your innards pour out of every door? No, it's just on the street where I live. And oh, the towering feeling just to know somehow I am near. The overpowering feeling that any second stare, but they can't afford to get on the wrong side of a dark and hungry Lord. When I hear you squeal, I enjoy my meal. Clear off out of the street where I live. Of course, in the video accompanying the cheeky little number, I set my scary but lovable snakes on the choir boys who gobble them up, and that's the end of them. And because I am a comic baritone, releasing my own album, Narcissism, not only can I kill my choir boys in one song, but I can bring them back to life in another. A patter song based on Victorian comic opera, chronicling all the ways I annoyed the choir boys as an 11-year-old entity, and all the ways they retaliated, with the message being their violence was worth it to be me and do what I do, because I am one of the stately baritones of England. If you're anxious for to shine in the out autistic line as an easy mark at school, you must tell them all the news of your love of kangaroos and wonder why they're cruel. You must meet each situation with word-perfect recitation of your favourite patter song. It's a chance to show your mettle when you're thrown in stinging nettles and you're doing nothing wrong. Be religious in your ploy that you're neither girl nor boy, but something in between. When they tell you that you're queer, answer, that's the whole idea. I'm neither king nor queen. They may spit at you while passing punch and kick you in the classroom when they get you on your own. The beating doesn't matter if you refuge in the patter of a comic baritone. Then a sentimental passion for whatever isn't fashion must excite your languid spleen. You must go over the top for Victorian comic opera and wonder why they're mean. Anytime they try and stop you from singing comic opera when they get you on your own, do not let their violence faze you or their ignorance amaze you. You're a comic baritone, and everyone will say of your out autistic way, if this young queer transgresses the laws of normative society, why, what a very satisfying home he'll find on a stage in comedy.